good. This is where it's at, that's for sure. Jody. We have Jody here from 2027 Cellars.
Hello.
There
Hi,
you
Debbie.
are. Let's share the airwaves together, Jody. And let's talk about this delicious wine that was just released a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, yes.
Now, it is made with Gamay, is that right?
Yeah, it's 100% Gamay from the 20 Mile Bench in Niagara.
And 2027 Cellars is your registration number. And you have been making, or you and your husband have been making wine for quite some time, virtually, and only available for restaurants. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah. 2027 is actually our grower number. Kevin planted a small Pinot Noir vineyard on my parents' property many years ago, and we registered it with the Grape Growers of Ontario, and they gave us the grower number 2027.
Does it have any other connection? Is it favorite numbers in your family, or numbers of?
No, nothing significant, except that in the year 2027, it'll be our 20th vintage. So that's kind of cool.
That is pretty good.
Definitely
Now,
didn't
I
plan
remember
that.
you guys were so excited about launching and opening up to your doors of your winery in March of last year, just weeks before the pandemic shut us all down.
Yes, right, exactly at the right moment.
You couldn't have timed it better.
No.
But at the same time, we're so glad that you're continuing to make mighty fine wines. This one being Gamay, and you do a lot of Gamay and Pinot Noir and single varietal wines. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, Kevin started the winery. Kevin's my husband. He's the winemaker, and he started the winery focusing on single vineyard, single varietal wines. We still do that today. We only make, we've got one blend that we make called Contrary, but yeah, typically we just do a single vineyard, single varietal, and we really like to sort of express what the vineyards are all about in our wine. So.
And how many acres of vineyards do you have then?
We actually don't have any grapes or any acreage of our own. We kind of started backwards. We started virtually renting space and purchasing from growers around the region. And now we've got our own little retail store within Calamus Estate Winery. And we still purchase grapes from different growers around the area. So we don't actually own our own land.
So for those of you who haven't heard of Calamus, it is a beautiful farm building, and it's very close to wineries like Featherstone, not too far from Vineland. So you've got some great neighbors.
Yes, absolutely. Westcott's right up around the corner, Flat Rock, Siouan. It's a great bunch.
Well, we'll be talking to Siouan a little bit later on this evening. And the Gamay, it's a beautiful, dry, crisp rosé. What kind of foods do you like having with it when you're enjoying this wine at home?
I really like this one as a patio sipper, and it's kind of my favorite with charcuterie and cheeses, so smoked meats and cured things. It's a great wine to kind of start the evening off with. It's bone dry, so it's got a nice aperitif type wine, characteristic to it.
Fantastic. And you have two girls in your family. Do they help with any of the winemaking or playing around in the vineyard?
They're getting into it for sure. They like to smell all the wines that we have, and they like to play with the bins of grapes when they come in and they're fermenting. So yeah, they're enjoying getting to know the process and see what their dad does.
Awesome. Thank you, Jody, for showcasing this wine. And it's one of the very first wines that we've had from 2020 vintage. So how are some of the other wines looking that are coming off of that vintage?
Really great, actually. Kevin's very excited about the 2020 vintage. He kind of thinks everything just came off beautifully. There was not a whole lot of problems. So yeah, We tend to bottle our aromatics quite early so that we keep the nice fresh, retain sort of the freshness in the wine. So yeah, we have most of our aromatics are now in the 2020 vintage. So it's kind of fun, but it's exciting to see also the reds come out in the fall. They'll be delicious too.
Well, and a number of the people who are online tonight are big Savvy fans, and they have ordered our Savvy care packages in recent months. And your Contrary, which is your white blend,
Yep.
was one of the surprises inside the parcel. So you may have some more 2027 Cellar fans than you know.
That's awesome. That's great.
Fantastic. Thanks a million.